Wow, I'm alive again. I always like it when it tells me I'm alive. So I'm going to make a cattail basket. I took a workshop yesterday, and I can't remember. Anyway, it was part of the Alberta Basket Makers, and it was an online workshop. Marion Borsch or something. I forget her name exactly. Anyway, so she was teaching us, but you know, she said that like on a cattail thing, see, there's these wings. I never thought of them like that before. So there's the main part, but then there's this very thin little side that can bend over like that. See, and so you take, maybe wait a minute, I stripped it off that one already. This is the one that's got it on it. No wonder you couldn't see it. So let me see, how do I make this big? I don't know. Anyway, so if you come to the edge here, you'll see that there are these little wings. If you stick your fingernail in, it will just take that whole little wing off. I never knew to do that before, but Miriam told me about that. Okay, so now you've just got the whole thing itself. There's a little bit of a wing right there. Can you see that? Okay, and also this goo in there, and when it dries, it turns white. It's a white kind of a clumpy stuff, clumpy powdery, not powdery, clumpy stuff. Anyway, and you can use it you rub it on your hands, and it's a painkiller. I was thinking of making it into a salve. Wouldn't that be a good idea? See, so then you have these little wings, which you've taken off with your fingernail. Get this one on this side, see? You can see how it bends. Oh, there, it's coming right off. And that leaves you with this flat piece. Let's see where I should show it to you with a dark background. Anyway, okay. So I did not separate these when they were green, which is what we're told to do. And I imagine the reason they tell you that is because when that goo in between them dries, you can see here it is. Like you can see the white stuff. And I would like to collect that. I think you could do that. Yeah, you could collect it, and then I think you could make it into a cream. I don't know if you'd want to add anything to it. Why would you need to make it into something? But I guess you might want to just collect enough. You would have a supply, have a jar of it. I guess the reason you would make a cream is to add something to it to make it go farther, right? I was wondering if I can use these little wings. Now, see, I've got these. You can't see it because you're on the laptop. But anyway, so I've got a wet. I put all the cattails in the bathtub, and I left it there for an hour or so. But I don't think you need to leave it there that long. But I did, and I guess I've separated quite a few. And then I put them into a towel. So the towel is now a damp towel. You don't have to start out with a damp towel because the towel turns damp. Okay, and then you keep them covered up so that they don't dry out. So here we've got a nice long one, and it doesn't seem to have any wings on it. There we go. Anyway. And they're wrapped around each other, but the thing that holds them on is this little wing. You see that little wing there? If you just feel for the edge, if you do it like, if you bend it backwards, you can see where it would be. But anyway, So you just stick your fingernail through it and then just go right up along the edge of this wing. It's a very short wing. Anyway, I was wondering if I can use the wings. They're very thin. I could use them for kind of like rope. This is a very thin cattail. This would be good for things like that too. But you know, to weave a basket with cattails, when Anchor had taught us, we just laid them flat, like we just went around and around and around. We had a box for a frame, a base or a mold. And so we took like when you get Celestial Seasonings tea in. How do I make the screen bigger? Oh, look, 4 people are there. Hello, 4 people. Welcome, welcome. So you see how this stuff, this is very wingy. But there's a place there where they bend apart. And you just break them from that place. It's pretty easy. But I'm saving them because I was thinking of, they're nice and little, and sometimes you want something really tiny. Especially like for tying things, you don't want to have to use something big and bulky, but you want it to work. The fact that you can use cattails for chair cage to do chair seats, it's really cool because that means you can go out in the woods and you can cut some willow or alders or something, and you can make yourself a chair, you know, like with the back sticks and the front leg sticks, and then 4 sticks to go around the seat of the chair. Then of course the back sticks should be high and maybe have a curve, right? Then sticks that go across. So, and then when you get that, see now here, see how when you try and take it apart, hold on a second, where'd it go? It's completely disappeared. It was right there. If you start up here and you stick your thumb in and go down, and see how it will lift up those, whatever they're called. How can I do it to show you? There they are. Lifts up the wings. See, and then you can just completely bend the wing back, and I think it's just as easy to take it off right now. It's not sounding very wet, is it? I'm doing all of them, and then I'm going to sort them by size. Might as well do them all, because otherwise I won't know what to do with the sizes that aren't exactly what I want right now. And I might use the wrong ones. Because I don't realize what else I have. So what were we saying? Must have been important. So we're on a stay-home order again. But you know, you can go to the grocery store. So it seems like if you're lonely or anything, you can go grocery shopping all the time. But kind of defeats the purpose of staying home order, I think. Okay, so those are prepared on the bottoms anyway. They're separated. Maybe if I rinse them, I can scrub all that white stuff. Or I could just leave it on the basket, and then when my hands hurt, I could just dip the basket in water and then rub the basket on my hands. That would be like my medicine basket. You think eggs are wonderful. Just wonderful. So the basket I'm going to make, if I ever finish taking these all apart, the basket I'm going to make is to go around this jar. So to measure it, you're 6 inches above the jar, plus the jar, plus the bottom, plus the jar, plus 6 inches. That is how much you need. So in this case, how long they're going to end up having to be. Some of these are very big shoulders or wings. If you go too far, it's like it opens up the inside of it. You get this, whatever that is. So you've kind of cut too far then, I guess. I don't know if it'll matter at all in the end, but. So what you'll do is you take your jar and you put it on your thing and you make sure that it's going to be long enough. So your pieces have to come up of your jar. So that's probably as long as they need to be there, right? So this could be my measure. I'll keep that aside. And then I will measure everything against it. These, I don't think any of these are going to be long enough for that. But when Marianne was teaching us yesterday, Marianne Borsch, is that what her name is? When she was teaching us, she's a really wonderful teacher. I guess she was figuring we were doing it at the same time. I can't do it and watch the directions, so I just watched. But anyway, so she was showing us about these wings, and she was also showing us. Yeah, Marianne Borsch. Anyway, so she had made all these containers. So there was one, and it was up to here. It came all around, and it was beautiful, and it was made out of cattails. And then I don't know what she did for the lid. I don't know if she had something like that. I was going to make one of this. I could make one around this. I put my nettle leaves in here and add hot water and then drink it all day or until it's gone. Then I make another pot. But see, I could make something like that around this. See, I've already got this little birch bark container around a jar. And then of course I have this little other birch bark and pine needle around my little savior. And this is with cedar bark. Cedar bark and I don't know what it is. Probably sedge grass. This one is just birch bark. And this one here is also birch bark. You use oil on it. That's how it makes that beautiful color. But this is just cedar bark. This is just the way it is. So this is what she was making yesterday out of cattails, which would be nice. But right now, I think I want to try making something to cover this. I was thinking earlier about making something to cover a gourd. And during this time of COVID shutdown, you have to have a project, something to do, something that's interesting. And it seems like if the weather's kind of yucky outside, or if I'm inside because I hurt, then it's pretty good to have something to do while you're sitting in a chair, right? Like you could sit in knit or crochet or something. That's interesting. Watch how it comes off or doesn't. I find if you pull on this one you're trying to get off, give a lot of pressure vertically or you know, from the top. Because it's easy to see where you're going to start because you've got all these little things here. So you put your finger in there. And if you line it up so that the shape of your finger is going in there with the shape of the cattails, and then you run it down the cattail, you can easily take it off. Make sure you hold it. I like to do it with my thumb. It's probably not as good, but make sure you hold the main piece tightly. Well, hold them both tightly. Okay, and then you can just take this and find that edge. The way it goes. Now, when Anchoret used cattails, and well, sometimes we use them flat, and then sometimes she used them to cane a chair at the Cattail Festival. I made a video on that once upon a time. You can look that up. Anyway, maybe several, but she was twisting it. So this time yesterday when Marianne was doing it, it was a new way. Instead of twisting them, she was pairing. Is that what it's called, pairing? Where you start with two and you put one on the inside, one on the outside, and then one goes over. So it's like you twist in between each, you know, but you don't twist. You're going to fold very carefully. But it's that idea. See these now, how big are these? These are, see, this one could work on my other one if I really want to use that. That's kind of yucky at the top though, isn't it? And it just broke. But so to do it, she says you need to start with, depends on the size of what you're making, like this size. If those were the same width as this, which they aren't, they're bigger. Let's see. So it'd take 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, it's going to take more. So what you do is you would start with something solid to work on, like Come Follow Me manual, and put that there. And then you would lay these down, and you would put butt and tips. She made a point of how we have to flatten them too. Oh, this has still got a wing on it. You take off the wings, and then you line them up and see how many you're going to need on the base to go across the bottom of the bottle, right? Well, this is not what I'm going to use, but I'm just going to show you this while I'm here. And you turn them over so that they're round side up, flat side down. And you do top and tail, so take half of them and turn them around. And put them in between the other ones, so that your basket will generally be the same size all the way. This is just what Marianne has detailed with us yesterday. It was good to be reminded of these things, most of them, but anyway, it's good to hear it all again. So then you put them all side by side and you line them up until you have enough to make the base. But you see, that's not enough. So I have to keep doing it until I have a towel on the floor. And here's a big amount of them, but they're going to be pretty short. Like those 3 might work. 1, 2, 3, and it's broken. Both of those are broken. Anyway, but then that's going to be a tall bottle, right? Like you make other things that are short. Like wouldn't it be neat to have a little container to hold your phone? You know, like you could just weave something nice like that to wrap around, to wear around your neck. But you want it padded somehow so that you don't have You don't want it banging into you, and you don't want your phone to fall out of it. You can see I've had some experience with these situations. And you also need it to be a little bit farther from your body. I don't think that we're supposed to keep them really close to us all the time. I'm not sure why. Radiation, they say. Not sure. Okay. So some of them are really fat at the bottoms. The other ends are quite thin. Some of this is wings. It doesn't really even look like it. It's hard to delineate. But by taking off the wings, you end up with a square piece, or straight sides, I mean. Sort of. Anyway, so this one is big enough to make, it's bigger than to make that. Now this kind of basket, this was made by Birch Bark, and they went, it's a whole basket on the outside, and then it's all woven across again on the outside. So it becomes 2 layers, but you don't have to work them. I'm not sure how you make 2 layers. Well, this is not really a double layer basket. This is because they're all pushed back in. Double layer, I think, is when the 2 sides are separate and one is inside of the other. Yeah, right. Underwater basket making. All right, so I'll be interested in asking Marianne what she uses these pieces for. But I would think that they would be good for the tying, what is it called? I forget how you say it. Pairing. I like to pair when you start in the center of something, or a quarter way or something, and you bend it in half. And then you put that bend over where you're starting it from. So if you had a whole bunch of them lined up, you would bend one and you would put it over the first one like that. And then it's already. And so if you pretend that you're going to have a twist in between each one, it gives you the idea of what to do. So you're going to, one goes in the front and down and out, and the other one goes behind. And then it goes to the front. Anyway, it's different. It's not quite twisting because the twist won't lay flat. So you'll have to you're going to create what would have been made as a twist, only it's going to be nicely flat as you do it. Does that make any sense? Oh, look, people are there. Oh, hello. What does this say? Hello, Nancy. I remember my culinary arts class in high school used to watch your baking videos. Oh, never forgot about you. Just wanted to say I hope you're staying safe and doing well. I have to go now, but hope you read my message later. I love your energy. Have a lovely day. What a nice thing to say, Venetia Porter. You should go see Venetia Porter. Obviously a very nice person. What a sweet thing to say. I used to make lots of videos. I was sharing a playlist of basket making videos. It had 700 videos in it. Like, hello. I guess I've made a few baskets. And Anchoret Dean, who is really an awesome basket maker, she didn't mind if I filmed her. And so I made these awesome videos. Anchoret taught how to work with cattails, how to work with rushes, how to work with cedar bark, willow, lots of willow. We grew our own labyrinth at Mira. It was quite awesome. Was I starting to say something? Oh, hi, people are here. And a thumbs up. Bless your heart. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. It means that you're not terribly busy enough that you could actually do that. And you're probably using your phone instead of a laptop. Or no, I don't know. Some ways are easier than others to comment. Yeah, like if you're watching it on a smart TV, how do you comment? Is it possible? Like you've got your own account on there and it's your own it's your own account, your Google account or something. Oh, nice slime for my hands. It's a good reason to use cattails. If your hands hurt when you're using willow, because willow is so hard to bend sometimes, most of the time. If you want to do a good job and get it really tight in the creases and everything. See this stuff here? That is very important stuff. That will heal your pain. Maybe. So I'm going to collect it in this jar. Look at that. I mean, you go through a lot of effort to get something like that from plants. There's a lot of it here. I wasn't sure if I would be able to get this off of it after I'd harvested it because, whatever. I did though. I know it's not that appealing. It's life. Okay, so here you can see where the wing is. See where the wing is there holding it all on? You can see this kind of this ridge here, which is, so I'm going to make a little line in that. I'm just going to take it off that way. Oh, I didn't do it. It helps to see what you're doing. Just pushed it in. All right, so you have to actually hold on to it. Pull it out. Same with the other side. There. More goo. Lots more goo. Now, some people, you know, when I got all those new clothes, and then I put them on, and I didn't want to go outside because if I went outside, I'd have to change and wear something I wouldn't get dirty. Did you know that you can harvest? There's this powder on the top of the cattail. But before the cattail, the tail exists. Well, this is a lot of that gel. I have to just keep my container open. I should probably take a knife or a spatula that could bend with it. I didn't usually like the slime on my hands. You know, I kind of thought, ooh, this is kind of little. I mean, I didn't really mind that much, but now I see how good it is for my hands. Well, it changes the whole story, doesn't it? Kom mee naar buiten, allemaal dan zoeken we de wielenveld dan. Horen wij die muzikant, want de zomer is in het land. Jodeljo klinkt zijn lied, jodeljo klinkt zijn lied, jodeljo en anders niet. Kom mee naar, that's about the Oriole. Kom mee naar buiten, allemaal dan zoeken wij de wielenveld dan horen wij die muzikant. Want de zomer is in het land. Jodeljo klinkt zijn lied, Yoodle-yo, insanely. Yoodle-yo, and then sneeze. Hey, we got 8 people there. Does anybody have something to say? I could stop talking to myself. I could be talking to someone. Wouldn't that be fun? This is my think that I should start doing more of this talking to people online, because I have a lot of things to say and nobody to say them to. So sounds good to me. I think maybe that's what videos are for. All old ladies should use them, because old ladies generally have a lot to say. I wonder how the stuff will come off if I soak them. Or I guess I don't know. I have to think about it. See, I'm really not into doing it right now. Otherwise, I would figure out what I need and I would get into collecting it mode. Yeah, you can aim when you take this apart so that you cut the little thing, the wing. Some are really little, aren't they? Oh, look, it's a blue sky out there. Look at this. Look at that. There is sunshine in my world today, more glorious and bright. I'm getting gooey hands. Sending love and wishes your way as you and your family stay safe from COVID. Thank you. Yes, we are staying safe from COVID. We are obeying all the rules. Not everybody likes that. It's amazing. Well, it's not that amazing. If I had to stay in an apartment, I don't know how long I'd do that for. Maybe a day? I don't know. I'd probably have to go to the grocery store every day or something. I guess you can go out for exercise, but the thing is, I spend all day outside exercising, as it were. You know, I don't know how just collecting it is not working that way. Got a piece of hair in it. Makes you want to do it, doesn't it? Oh, yes, let's go get gooey. All right. Got another big one. Probably won't use these tiny ones, but you may never know. You never know. Can make tiny baskets. They're all just one on top of each other. It's amazing that there's medicine that would make your hands not hurt. And it's in the plants that grow by almost every roadside in the world. Or somewhat, seems like to me. Cattails are so abundant. They grow in the wetland. They like to be wet. So if you're going to go harvesting cattails, you need to put something watertight on your feet, unless you want to get wet. If you want to get wet, that's fine. But I would suggest you wear waterproof footwear. And then you can walk in the cattails, and you probably only get in a couple inches deep, maybe 4 inches. They don't have to have very deep water to be happy. But the fact that they're growing there means that there is standing water there for a large portion of the time. Every part of the cattail is important. Like you can eat the roots, right? You I tried taking some roots and drying them, but they dried up into nothing. I thought this was going to take forever, especially because it was kind of difficult to dig those roots up. They were well and truly loving where they lived, much to my dismay. So, it's kind of hard to stay happy sometimes because a lot of our happiness comes from interacting with other people and getting feedback. How am I doing? How do I look? How do I come across? Just people reflect who we are back to us, and we see. I don't know if that's. Never mind. So, have you made baskets before? I believe there's 700 in the playlist. From Russia. Hello from Russia. I use LiveJournal, which is a Russian. I didn't know it was Russian. Well, I kind of thought it might be because there were a lot of Russian language in it when I started it many, many years ago. But then, of course, I have all my stuff in there and all my memories and my writing. It's all in there in LiveJournal. And I'm a little concerned that I was looking for my memories yesterday and it was only showing me like the last 5 memories. Like, where did the index of all my memories go? Anyway, years ago, I had my son download the site so that it would copy it, and so I would have all of my data in case one day it went away. Anyway, always worried about losing all these things. Back in the olden days, I don't know if you guys were around back then, but my son was just starting high school, and he's 40 now, so long time ago. So, that's old. I must be old. How can you have 40-year-old kids? Oh, well, I remember when he was 5. That's good enough, right? But I don't have to chase him anymore. Why am I telling you that? The internet came out. Oh, yeah. So I'm always scared of losing stuff on the internet because, well, I guess everybody's had their computers crashed, but I spent a lot of time building my website. I had a website at one point. Used to be a travel writer, and I had a lot of writing articles that were on travelwriters.com, but then it vanished. I have them in my journal too, but they're in memories, which I don't know if I can find them anymore. All these little disappointing moments. But there was these things called GeoCities, and I had a Heartland address in a GeoCities. Heartland Acres, I think. GeoCities.com. Did anybody else do back then when it was a big deal to make your own web pages and all the software had it built in, so you could make HTML stuff? And does anybody else do that? Probably, right? These wings, sometimes they kind of blend into the next one almost. See, this is kind of interesting. I don't know that I would need to remove the wings. If I were going to twist it, I wouldn't. But to twine with it lent itself well to that. So how's life in Russia? What's going on over there? A lot of people have a lot of feelings about Russia at the moment. Supposedly, according to all the research and evidence, there's a lot of infiltration into the systems from the Russia, whatever. But let's not talk about that. You didn't come here to talk about that. It's pretty hard to find the edge sometimes. There it is. In the middle is a core, and I was trying one day to figure out what to do with the core, and then I realized that you can use it for thatch. Like you'd have to sort all your bundles, right? But when you're separating them and you get these cores, if you use enough cattails, you're going to end up with cores, which you can use in your like thatch. Well, not like sedge, but like the tall, straight ones, the reed. Yeah, reed. I wonder, when they make round reed and 3/4 reed and all these different sizes for making baskets, I wonder if you could take the rod that's in the center of this and cut it so that it became like, I don't know if you want to because you already got all that stuff here. This one is broken. Kind of mesmerizing, eh? We have sunshine. You know what that means? That means you got to get outside, get some vitamin D, go play. I love to play. Do you play outside? If you play outside, it'll keep you young. Oh, it's amazing. I find that the earth is supplied to make us happy. If you stick your hands in the dirt, there's bacteria in there that actually will make you feel happy. Isn't that amazing? Of course, then you have to come and wash your hands because you'll have dirty hands. But that shouldn't really matter. But I think it's just very cool that Heavenly Father knew what we would need on this earth, and He supplied us with all these things like bugs, bacteria in the earth. It'll just make us happy. Especially if you're in lockdown, I think you need to get outside every day. Make a point of it. But the best place to go outside is where you can be between trees. If you only have a few trees in your yard, and those are the only trees that you can get to because of however the shutdown is happening in your area. So this is kind of a rod now. I now have 3 rods. You see, and over time they will add up. Now see, it's 3.5 if you bend one. Break it. If nothing else, this will make excellent fire starter. But I think I can use this for lashing. And it's really great stuff. And these little bits. Okay, what else we got? We're almost down to the end of it. Soon we're going to have to make a basket. But I'll probably start a new one, a new video at that point. Because otherwise, people will watch all of this and think they were going to watch a basket. But, I used to watch Lost. Did you watch Lost? What were your favorite shows? NCIS, 24, Stargate, Lois, the real Lois and Clark. No, the real adventures of Lois and Clark or something. I didn't really watch Smallville very much. What else was there? There was Lois and Clark fan fiction. I used to write fan fiction. I wrote one that was like a spoof, and it's still up there. And I thought, why have I got that up there? That's pretty bad. Anyway, take it down one day. I didn't. I was very surprised it would still be there. But Lost, I used to watch Lost, and the reason I would watch it is because I would want to see nature. And these people were running around out there in the jungle in Hawaii. And that was pretty cool. I mean, all I ever wanted to do was live in a grass hut. And now I do. I have a grass hut. You haven't been there, but I did make a video yesterday for you. I have to upload it, which is really a trip. But you know what I could do? Maybe I could make a live video and tape that video with a live video, and then it would be automatically uploaded. Isn't that a smart idea? I may have just fixed the problem. I'll try that later when I'm not terribly busy. So you know what I started doing? It snowed out, made wonderful snow stuff. So I went to a Facebook page, a local Facebook page, which I'm not really part of. I never did that because I always wanted my location to be a secret, right? Because children, grandchildren, whatever, always had a safe secret. But so I got on this local thing, and I have been making a snowman contest. I made. All I did was put a post on snowman contest. Enter by responding. I mean, that was pretty easy, you know. That was about the easiest thing I ever planned. Snowman contest. Respond with pictures. Judging will start after 3 p.m. when it rains. So then one girl heard about it or read it. I don't know if it's mostly adults that read these things, probably. So her mother probably told her about it. And she went right outside and she made a snowman and took a photo of it and sent it in. It was awesome. It's like, it made the girl's day. Like she wanted to win the contest. Well, as it happened, she did win the contest. Nobody else entered. And it was a decent enough snowman anyway, and so she won the contest. It was a good snowman. It was worthy. Anyway, so I think that really made her day. You know, like, I just felt that there's things that we can do without going near people. You know, like have a snowman contest. And then I thought, what am I going to do for this? What's the winner thing? And then I had these Christmas ribbons that I had never put up anywhere. Those red ribbon things. And so it's all getting a lot more organized now that it's so taken apart. Yes, you were saying? Oh yeah, so I took some wood. I had some wood and these boards, and I took my router and I carved in it best snowman. And then I found out where she lived. I went to the dollar store and I got some wire with the little hooks for hanging photos or hanging paintings, pictures. And so then I attached them to my piece of wood. And so then I took along the red ribbon. So I think I attached them together, right? And so I took it to her, and that really made her day. I mean, that was like, what an inspiration, you know, like, I don't know, I just thought it'd be a nice thing. And so I did that. And so I had a contest. And so now we got another contest going. And this time, I think we've had about 13 entrants. I may have to have help with the judging. I may have to have more than one. Because there's this little girl who's sitting on the ground next to a snowman, which is about this tall. And she had made it. And I think that she deserves a first prize. Don't you? I think that's wonderful. This is no adult help at all. And there should be different categories, right? Like the age groups, preschool, young school, whatever. And so that they won't be competing against, and I don't want it to be parents competing against other parents. That's kind of strange, right? Some of these snowmen, like I was even thinking of responding to the people with the questions, what is the age of the people that made this? And 1 to 10, how much time did this person help or do it, right? So that if the parent spent 90% did 90% of the work, the child did 10, well, that's important. Now, if a child is 2 or 3 or 4, and a parent does 90% of the work, well, that's okay. But you know what I mean? Like, it should be apples and oranges, apples and apples and oranges and oranges. So, and then again, maybe I could give out prizes like smallest snowman, tallest snowman, most difficult snowman. Whatever, different, whatever categories just come to mind, I guess. But I think maybe I should just divide them up into different groups. I mean, I can tell their age by looking at but some of them is a group effort, right? But still, you could divide them up because you can see how old these kids are by their photos of them with their snowmen, right? Because I don't think you just should have one prize, because everybody spent a lot of work doing it so that they could win the prize. Or maybe they were just playing. If they were just playing, that's okay. The pileated woodpecker digging into the snow. Oh, he's taking away the suet which fell. Can you hear him? That's him. All right, so look, I think I did it. By George, I think she's done it. All right, now to sort them, that's going to be tricky. So I have to somehow put on here, I'll have to do a sorting them. Should I start a new video? Maybe I should start a new video. It'll be number 2. Okay, so then we'll do that. We'll stop and we'll sort the cattails. Should we do that or just keep, how long have we been going? 53 minutes. Okay, I'll start a new one. Okay, see you in a minute. Bye-bye.